Okay, we're live. Good, excellent. I need a 5x5. If you guys can be so kind. We don't know what's been going on lately. It does appear that we are getting another shadow ban. The notification went out half an hour ago, and there's 3 people in the chat. Crazy. Doesn't make sense. So we're going to wait for a 5x5 nonetheless. It's a nice day, so I thought I'd come outside into the vehicle because the lighting conditions are better. Although it has got really bright lately, hence this, because it was literally whiting everything out. Awesome. We have got people. 43 now. Right. Kane, well done on the live stream earlier. Winning that Olight torch. Brilliant. 5x5. Lone Wolf, good to see you. Coffee. Tanif. Brilliant. So we're good. We're getting out there. Right. Okay. Yes. The title of this video. Wow. This comes off the back of an email that I got this morning following a video which I done about 9 months ago, something around that time. So yes, 9 months ago we talked about it come out, I think it was in the Mail in the UK mainstream newspaper. It said that April the 1st of April, I'm always got a conflab by those two, but yes, the 1st of April 2024, there is going to be a change in our universal credit benefit system. So basically what was put out there in the article, which you can go back and see in my videos, when I mentioned that the 1st of April 2024 it's going to be reset. So basically what they are doing is they said that anyone who signed up for universal credit 2020 and after, they would have to reset everything, because according to statistics, the amount of people who were made unemployed and therefore went over to universal credit in 2020 was so big, it literally drowned their system. They're finding it so hard to keep track of everyone. This is what they are saying, right? So what they wanted to do is April the 1st, I know April Fool's Day this year, only the other day, it was all reset. So let me know in the chat. You don't have to. You really don't have to. Films by Lewis, thank you for that support, sir. You don't have to, but if you are on universal credit, were you affected 16 days ago? Apparently they changed it. So if you want to get universal credit now, you need to provide them, Department of Work and Pensions, bank statements. It's none of their business really, but they want your bank statements. Not only that, they want a genuine photo ID, so driving license, passport, etc. Okay, there was never ever on the table before the 1st of April this year. So stay with me. You're going to be blown away by what we're going to be talking about, how this all pans out as we go through the next few years. It's unbelievable what they're doing, and it's not until you step back, look at everything. You may be working, you might not be on benefits, okay, but nonetheless, take heed. We on this channel seem to be doing videos which are way ahead of the crowd. Hence, this prepping community, this aware prepping community, literally are one step ahead of the game, and it's growing. We got 270 people in the chat. Like I said, they are trying to shadow ban me again. No one's getting notifications. The views are way down. No advertising authority wants to attach themselves to my videos, so I'm basically doing this for free. So it's very, very difficult to keep my head above the water. So you guys who are helping support the channel, without you, we're done. I'm gonna just have to get a job, and there won't be no more YouTube videos. It's that serious. I'm being big time banned again. I know. We've got 279 people. Awesome. I just done a members 2 live stream and 1 person turned up. So yes, we are under attack. This is very real. So stick with me, okay? The universal credit, the benefit system, right? Now, who has heard about the term universal basic income? Right. So how this blends in with the Great Reset. Yeah. How does it blend in with the Great Reset? What we are seeing right now, this has happened 16 days ago here in the UK with the April Fool's Day announcement that if you want to get benefits in the UK, you need to provide the government with your bank statements so they know all the ins and outs of all of your payments, and they need the photographic ID of your face, biometrics, just so you can get the pittance which they pay. Okay, not everyone on benefits is a bad person. Not everyone on benefits is a scam, a fraud, a cheat, whatever. Okay, there are really good people out there who literally had a normal life like most of us. Something happened and then they're in that situation. Okay, we must not judge or be harsh on people who claim benefits. Okay, because how do we know their situation? We shouldn't judge anyone. Okay, these people are really struggling, because if you can appreciate the cost of living, it's insane. That email I got from Frank this morning telling me that his benefit thing completely got reset. He hasn't been paid. Frank was telling me on his email that he remembers vaguely the video I done last year. I think it was summertime, a long time ago now, telling people, look, if you want benefits, you're going to have to give them all of this information. If you don't, it's going to get reset. You won't get a penny. You won't be notified or anything. It's a big, huge nightmare. This has been impacting tens of thousands of people, potentially hundreds of thousands, all the way across the UK. Yet it's not being talked about. You go looking for this on the mainstream media, there's nothing yet. There are hundreds of thousands of people right now who haven't had any money in benefits. They still got to pay bills. They still need to get food. They still need to put fuel in the car to take their kids to school. Whatever it is, it's not being talked about. But like I said, in my opinion, this is one of the very early stages towards enabling the Great Reset. Okay. Now, think about that film, The Hunger Games. Okay. All of the majority of the population on the planet were severely poor. There's a very small percentage who were extremely well off. Okay. What they are doing in a slow, strange, dystopian fashion is eliminating the middle class. The powers that be, the people who are really running the show, the guys and girls that we will never know. That rhymes. Check that out. So yeah, we're not going to know who these people are. Think about the Forbes rich list. Okay, the top 100 richest people on the planet. Okay, let me tell you here and now, that list is complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. The real people who are running the show behind the scenes, we are never going to know who they are. We're not going to know what they look like, what their names are, where they live, and how much wealth they got. We are never going to know. These people have so much wealth, it makes the top 100 Forbes rich list combined like a children's pocket money account. That's how absurd it is. These are the realities which we are actually dealing with. Okay, so if you really think that Elon Musk, Bezos, and Zuckerberg and all the others are extremely rich, think again, Sam. You're wrong. The real people with the real wealth, we are never going to know. So what are we going to see? What are they wanting us to see? The Great Reset. So basically, you have got a very small percentage of extremely wealthy and powerful evil people right at the top of the pyramid, and everyone underneath will be on UBI. What's that? Universal Basic Income. It is going to replace the benefit system which I've just talked about 7 minutes ago. Yes, I know it's crazy, but when you think about it, that's what they absolutely want. Okay, so whatever that figure is going to be, a universal basic income figure, let's say £1,600 UK or 1,800 US. Okay, that's how much possibly that every adult in the UK is going to get. Why? Because there will be no work. Why? Because the advancement of AI is so insane, there's hardly going to be anyone working. We're looking ahead now. Don't forget, lots of the videos that I do Not just me, but a few others that I can mention too. Jason Breshears of Archaics, for example. We talk about things which are years away. And yet I constantly get accused from retarded people that all of the things I've said have not come to pass. Why? Because we're too early yet. We're too early. The stuff which is planned and coming down the pipeline is years away. Just because it hasn't happened in the last few years doesn't mean it's it won't. And it looks like by the way things are going, these things could be on the cards. And it's down to us to make sure that it doesn't happen. And how can we do, what do we need to do to prevent that ridiculous Great Reset scenario from ever happening? We need to spread awareness. So if you can, please share this video. If you can subscribe, I would appreciate it. I have lost 200 subscribers in 1 week. People are not getting notified from my videos. People like me are being silenced. And if you think I'm making this up, well, listen to this very short excerpt from the Davos conference in January, only a few months ago.
For the global business community, the top concern for the next 2 years is not conflict or climate. It is disinformation and misinformation.
True, 100% true. The biggest thing that scares the WEF, hence on the thumbnail, the biggest thing that scares them is people telling other people what's really going on. Because they don't want people like me telling lots of people what's going on. Why? Because they know that their days are numbered should our spreading of information and making people aware of what's really going on, should it happen, their days are numbered. They are doomed. They are a very small amount of people. They will be taken out when the time comes. Why? Because too many people are waking up. I've already spoken about this on loads of videos over the years. Once 13% of the global population are fully aware of what's really going on and how the world works, that number will continue to rise exponentially without stopping. And when that happens, their days are numbered. And you know what? I firmly believe in my heart that 13% of the global population are truly aware of what's really going on and are aware. Yes. So it's happening. It's real time right now. We are living in amazing times. Too many people are waking up. So if you can share this video, I'd appreciate it. There are links underneath the video. Please consider subscribing to the newsletter. That is underneath this video. I sent 6,000 emails out last week to reach people about information which I can't really talk about on YouTube. So please sign up to that. It's absolutely free. You just want a name and an email address. I'm not joking. This stuff is very real and it's coming down the Kermit. Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth, over on PayPal. I really appreciate your generosity and support.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's right. Lots of people will be kicking ass. It's true. When you consider how fragile the system is. Now, what they want to do is they want to get everyone, and I mean everyone, tied in with digital ID, digital identification. Okay. Labour in the UK tried it way back in 2005 with a little card and it got quashed. Too many people said, no, bullshit, sorry, not playing that game. But they are trying other new ways using technology to make that happen for real. And let me tell you this, friends, if it comes to pass that we can't do anything without digital ID, that truly is our line in the sand. Okay, forget about all of the poke that happened in 2020 and 2021. If you don't get this, you won't be able to keep your job, etc. It turned out that was bullshit. It was fear porn. It was scare tactics by the government and bodies and the mouthpiece, the mainstream media. So we know that they pushed their luck. They are all front. They are giving it the large one. They are all mouth. Don't comply. I know lots of us don't. Use cash. You know the drill. All of the stuff which we should be doing already. It's going to be so important, more than you can understand. You might think you're doing your bit by using cash. Trust me, you're doing a huge thing just by doing that. The more people we can turn on to the idea of using cash, the absolute better for all of us. Now, the weird thing is, I'll make some notes down because there's a lot to chew over this. Okay. The fundamental reasons why they are implementing the idea of digital ID and bank statements for universal credit is to get people on board with compliance. That's what it is. They need to find what these people are spending their money on. Are they buying prepping items? Are they buying water filters? Are they doing something to enable themselves to become in a better position where they don't need to rely on the government, i.e. some degree of self-sufficiency? If you are signing on, getting basic universal credits, if you are doing that, they want access to your bank account. They want to see what you are spending your money on. They want to know who the preppers are. Who are the dangerous people? Dangerous people? Did I just say that? Yeah, I did. To the government, we are dangerous people. Why? Anyone who wants to rely on themselves rather than the government will be considered dangerous people. For real. Okay. You can spin it, which the mainstream of doing, and saying domestic terrorist. Yes. If you want to rely on yourself, you want to provide your own energy, you want to clean and purify your own water, you want to heat your home without any mains company or smart meter or smart heat pump or whatever it is, if you want to exist outside of that system, you will be considered an enemy of the state. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm making this up? Think again. Time will tell. You're going to remember me saying this back in early 2024, and I've been saying this for years now. Years I've been saying the same message. It's coming down the road, guys. What are we going to do? Are you going to fall for it? It's a trap. Are you prepared for it? Because what they want to do is they want everyone out of work. They want everyone at home. They want everyone in smart cities. So when you think, you're driving around the UK or in America maybe, and you see the vast expanse of land between urban deployment areas, countryside, rural areas, call it what you will. They don't want people living there. They want everyone in heavily, densely populated urban areas. Capital cities in the UK, London, Birmingham, Manchester, Glasgow, all of the big cities, they want everyone out of the countryside and into those cities. How are they going to do that? Money. What do you mean money? Well, money is control. If you can survive without money, they can't control you. If you need money to survive, they can and they will control you. So we better start thinking of how we are going to survive, not just survive, but thrive in communities globally without needing money. That is the key to success. Because if we need money, we've had it. We're going forward. Don't forget, I'm thinking a few years ahead. I'm not talking right now. They are laying the foundations right now just for that. And they are calling it the Great Reset. They want to reset everything. So, all right, you've got people living in the countryside. I live here in Wales, in the middle of nowhere. It's my choice. It's a struggle, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I value freedom. I don't want to be in a city where there's signs everywhere telling me what I can and can't do, what I should be thinking, etc. All of that noise, that pollution, the bad energy, the violence, the arguments, the frigging graffiti, the traffic, the frigging nightmare. It's not how human beings should be living. Let me tell you this. If you've got every single person alive on this planet right now and you stood them together side by side, it would fill the state of Texas. Everywhere else in the entire planet would be empty. So they are trying to make us believe that we're running out of room, it's heavily populated, etc. They're doing it by design. They're shipping in migrants from the east into the west, knowing full well that it's going to clog up the system, jam it up, make it break, make it fail by design. So we will believe there's no room here in the UK. I've got to go somewhere else. National residents of the UK will be forced, if we don't have our own say, over the next 5 years out of our country. Why? They plan to make 80 million people in the UK Muslim, for sure. If you don't like it, if you think I'm crazy, fine. Go and look into it. It's a fact. It's happening slowly by stealth. Look at America. It's not just the southern border. It's happening all over. Hell, that potato Joe Biden spastic head has flown in 330,000 people into the United States. Not over the border, flown them in out of your American tax dollars. Yeah, the IRS, what are they doing? It's crazy. All this is by design. It's a totalitarian tiptoe, as David Icke once said many years ago, back in the 90s now. People laughed at him there. He's selling out stadiums globally now. Why? Because he's speaking the truth. It doesn't matter what you think about that guy. It doesn't matter what you think about Russell Brand. It doesn't matter. The fact is, these people are getting people to think for themselves, to question things. All right. So I could slag off Russell Brand all day long. I think the guy's a tosser. I think he's a paid shill. I don't trust him. But nonetheless, with that being said, I'm aware enough not to let my ego take over and say, oh, he's just an idiot. Well, guess what? Believe it or not, that idiot, that tosser, that shill Russell Brand is making people question things. So by default, it's a good thing. We have to let that ego thing go. We need people to question things fundamentally as a basic starting point, because what they want to do is they want to make everyone skint so they can't afford to live in rural areas. They won't be able to afford to live. What do you need in a rural area? You need a vehicle, you need transport. Well, apparently it's our fault for making the weather how it is because of the climate change thing, which most of us believe is a crock of bullshit. But they are going to be hammering that from dawn till dusk for many years to come. Already, the under 25s are heavily brainwashed into the notion that it's people all over the world are making the weather crazy. They've been brainwashed from an early age. This has to stop. People are taking their kids out of school. They can see the writing on the wall. They don't want their kids coming home from school and say, Mummy, Daddy, don't drive that petrol car anymore. You're going to make my bad future. Wow. Insane from a 6-year-old. I'm not joking. It's happening. They are targeting our young, our vulnerable. They are doing it through the bullshit education system. Intelligence isn't measured by high grades. It's measured by people's ability to think and solve problems and solutions. That's intellect. Look at the poor people in India and Africa. They haven't got jack shit. They need to make do. They need to find stuff to make things work. Hell, I've seen videos of people making cars out of scrap bits of metal, metal gas bottles, Coke cans. They're clever enough, they're intelligent enough to do that. And what have we got? We got people with straight A's and they can't even boil a fucking egg. It's that bonkers. All right. So when we think about how it's structured, where it's all going, we need to seriously start looking at things now, because what they want to do is they want everyone out of rural areas into urban areas, and they are going to use money to do it. What do I mean? Well, your car tax, your car insurance. Guess what? Car insurance in the UK doubled in 12 months last year. Did you know that? Fact. People still paid it. Some don't, granted, but the majority of people sucked it up, got loans or whatever, just so they could be able to drive. Do you really think that car insurance is not going to go up again? It will. What if it goes up? What if it doubles every year for 10 years? Do you know what that's going to do? It's going to stop people driving. They won't be able to drive. So people living in rural areas, they will have no choice but to pack up, sell up and move to a city. That's exactly what they want. And over time, only the very wealthiest people will be in the countryside. And at some point, even they won't be able to afford it, because they are going to continue to pump the prices in owning a petrol or diesel vehicle continually. Yeah. Already, I've had people say to me, do you know what people are doing now? They are vandalizing pay car park meters on the street or in car parks. People are vandalizing them. Why? Because guess what? Councils are going to be increasing the price of car parking fees or charges 80% this month. So when it's £1 an hour, now it's going to be £1.80 an hour, etc. They are literally trying to get as much money as they can. Already we have a minimum of 6 local councils over the UK who have officially gone bankrupt. If you can't see the writing on the wall now, there's nothing I can do for you. Just hope for the best, because that's all you can do. We need people to question things and become aware and to share this information. We've got 740 people here. If you can hit the thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. We need to get this video out, guys. So before I sign off, I would urge you to share this video, because they are banning me again. My videos just aren't getting out there. So this Great Reset thing is very real. So eventually they're going to get everyone into cities. They're going to get everyone relying on the internet. Now, it seems in this day and age that most things require an internet connection. Okay, what happens if that internet connection goes down? Have you actually thought about it? I went into a cafe a few months ago, and I didn't realize until when I come to pay for my meal, I got the cash out of my wallet, and he said, "I'm really sorry, sir, it's card only." I said, "Well, I've only got cash." I said, "We haven't got any facilities to accept cash." So I made a decision there and then that I'm going to use my card for one time only, and I'm never going to go to that establishment ever again. And I've told people about it. I've told all my friends. I've told people on YouTube videos. We got to boycott these companies. And I said to the guy, and I said, "Do you know how bad it is by refusing to accept cash?" And he goes, "Well, it costs us. We have to pay a percentage to put money into the bank and take money out." I said, "Yeah, okay. You've got exactly the same with these card readers. You have to pay a fee to hire these card readers. You have to pay a transaction fee. Every time there's a transaction on that card reader, you have to pay 10% or whatever it is. It's no different. So don't use that excuse to me, please. It's not valid." And he looked shocked. He didn't know what to say, but the truth is the truth. And then I said, "What happens if your card reader fails and no one can pay?" "Oh, it hasn't happened before." And I said, "Actually, does your card reader require an internet connection, i.e. Wi-Fi? Because when they go to the tables to collect money, these card readers are portable. They haven't got a big long cable stuck to the till and they're walking around to the tables, have they? No, it's wireless. So not only do they need an internet connection, they need a Wi-Fi connection." And I said to him, "What happened if you lost your Wi-Fi or your internet?" I said, "What would happen?" He said, "To be honest, sir, we wouldn't be able to do anything." He said, "Everything in this building relies on the internet." I said, "Wow." I said, "Don't you think that's kind of vulnerable?" And he says, "Well, you know, it's not happened before." I said, "Yeah, but how do you know? What if someone hacks it, turns it off? All of a sudden, you've got 80 customers who are ready to pay their £50 bill or whatever it is, and they can't. You're going to lose all that money. You can't even accept cash because you've decided not to." That is a very foolish thing to do. And I said to him, I said, "I hope you and your business, you don't get outages in a Wi-Fi or an internet connection." And I rest my case. How many people think about this? Now, you guys watching right now, I want you to really think about this. Where you work, what you do. Just imagine if you had no internet. How would you get by? What would it be like? Well, let me tell you this. If the entire world lost internet for 1 week, do you know what would happen? We would probably head back towards the Stone Age. Now, I know some of you are probably rolling around laughing your bollocks off at that statement, but think about it. It's crazy. Even our learned friend, Mr. Schwab, hence what I put on the thumbnail. I want you guys to listen to this. He didn't make this up. This was absolutely real.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Absolutely. Think about it. Everything these days is heading in the direction that it's going to need an internet connection. Now, This is going to be a really good question. I'm going to ask this question to you guys. I'm going to go to the live section right now. Okay. Now, how many of you have gone away from your home, you're outside, and you want to use the internet, or you're inside the shop and you want to use the internet? You're probably going to turn your data roaming on so you can get the internet. How many times does that let you down? How many times have you had a really weak signal, it's piss poor, or you've got nothing at all? This is the reality, okay? They are trying to paint a picture that everywhere you go, all over the world, in this day and age, you can get a maximum strength internet signal mobile. That's what they want us to believe. I know from my experience, that is so far from the truth. It's bullshit. It's 100% BS. I want you guys to know. I want to know what you guys think. Now, have you been out and about? How easy has it been for you to get a really good internet connection? Okay. It'd be really interesting to see. I know there's a lag, etc. But yeah, I never put on my data. Agree. Rubbish coverage. Even people in the live chat right now. Someone's saying they got no smartphone. Well, fair play. That's really good. But yeah, sometimes you can get an okay internet connection. But if you just go to a few places and that's it, maybe you're lucky. What if you went to loads of different places? What if you went out in the sticks? You got no internet connection. I know there's people that don't live far from me. Their broadband connection, which they get from BT, is 2.3 meg. That's a reality in some rural areas. I'm not joking. They're trying to brainwash people into thinking you can get 200 gig or whatever, or meg downloads broadband. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Nonetheless, they want everything reliant on the internet. Can you see any potential cock-ups with that? Really? They want smart meters in our homes, which are going to control everything. And I was trying to do video recordings in my home. Believe it or not, there's a smart meter there, which is not going to be for much longer. But in there, where I'm renting a property, there's a smart meter there. Now listen, when I've got the microphones on and I'm doing a recording, do you know what it picks up? It goes, it does that noise. I mean, what the hell is that? And when I researched and I found out what it is, that is a Wi-Fi ping. That's how much pulse frequencies are being emitted from a Wi-Fi connection. That fast. It is incredible. Smart meters are even faster. They are much higher frequency and much faster regular pulse. It's almost like 200 beats a minute, constantly. Pulses going out, pulses coming back, constantly. Send and receive, send and receive. To be living in that environment, do you think that that's not going to affect your mood, etc.? Really? We are bioelectrical organisms. How many times have you got a static shock on a piece of metal when you've been rubbing your feet on an island carpet? Yes, we are electric. We are water. I know it's a crazy mix, but it is. Hence, when people take their socks and shoes off, they put their feet onto the grass or the ground, and they call it earthing, grounding. Very beneficial. Beneficial. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look into it. It's very good for you. You need to ground yourself, get all of that crap out of your system, because all of this stuff is going on all of the time in this new world that we are morphing into. They want everyone to be digital. Okay, they don't want analog anymore. They're phasing it out. The old-fashioned great big TV sets, no one's got them anymore. The old radios, which you can tune in, not many people have those. It's all digital. Well, let me tell you this. When you move around with a digital radio, trying to get a signal anywhere, it's impossible. It's bullshit. You might get lucky if you're in an urban environment, maybe, but most of the time it's bullshit. So what have we got? We have got an overwhelming push to try and get as many people all over the planet onto digital and the internet. Big time, for real. Now, the problem I can foresee with that is it relies on so many things for it to work. So logically thinking, the more things that something needs to work, if one thing fails, the whole thing's gone. And sometimes it takes a while to find where the fault is to fix it. if you're lucky. So what I'm trying to say is, the more things that need lots of things to make that one thing work and work well, one thing goes wrong, it's a nightmare. So think about older vehicles, okay? A very basic car engine. Now, you could literally get a manual. You can go and buy a few spare parts and some basic tools, and you can change parts and fix things yourself. Have you ever looked at what a Tesla engine looks like? Nonetheless, that's where they want us to go. They want everyone to have electric vehicles. It's bullshit. Like I said, the weight of those vehicles that's pushing down really hard on the ground, it's creating more particles coming out of tires, which are highly toxic. If you don't believe that those microscopic particles from car tires pushing into the road, breaking off and going all over the place into your lungs, it's crazy. Go into any tire manufacturer and ask to see a data sheet. You can download them for free. Look at the data sheet of car tires. I'm not joking. If you've got 5 minutes, check it out. You will be shocked. Most materials in all car tires now are cancer causing chemicals, etc. It's all over the atmosphere. Now, the weight of a car battery in these EVs now are so heavy, they're pushing the contact even harder into the ground or the road or the pavement or whatever it is, to create all of these bits of these tires to come off into the atmosphere. It's going to make us all really, really sick. Okay, all of that stuff is not good because they want us to be sick. Think about the birth of the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, before the early 1900s, most people used to use their brains, get information passed down by the ancestors of what herbs, what vitamins, what minerals are good, what works, and then some wise spark wants to synthesize some base herbal ingredients and put loads of stuff on there designed to make you have a side effect, so you buy more drugs. It's called business. The more people that are ill, the better the business for these pharmaceutical companies. So if you're savvy about what you eat, what you put into your body, and what you put on top of your body on the outside, shower gel, deodorant, whatever it is, if you're savvy and you know what's in it and you choose not to, you're going to be less sick. You're not going to be a fan of the pharmaceutical industry. Why? Because you're not buying sick. You're not spending your hard-earned money on their tablets and pills, which only fix about 20% of the problem and then give you a lot of side effects, so you buy more. It's keeping them in business. It's making them very wealthy. We can only surmise what happened in 2020 and 2021. It's a fact. So they are literally wanting everyone to go down this controlled, dystopian, ridiculous future where more things can go wrong than they go right, because they're reliant on so many internet things. Who's heard of IoT? Internet of Things. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look into it. Come into a smart home near you. Yes, kettles, fridges, which log down information about what you put into the fridge. It scans QR codes. Oh, you've only got half a pint of milk left. We'll send you a text to say you're getting lower milk and it's going to be expiring soon. Do you really want to be told how to live? Do you really want health and safety to tell you that there's a hole on the floor where you can see it with your own eyes? Do you see where I'm going? They want people to conform and do as they're told. They don't want free thinking. They don't want free speech. They don't want adults to be adults. They want adults to become like children and do as they're told. Follow the signs, follow the rules. Health and safety is all bullshit. It's all about control. They've been doing it for years. It's all part of the plan. They want everyone to fall in line and to end up in smart cities, 15-minute cities, which I've talked about before. And they're doing it. They're building the infrastructure right now. They are. They're even doing the line out in the Middle East. Some of you have seen that video. So that is basically it. If you can share this video, I would really, really appreciate it. There's some big hitters out there who need to be looking at this. So if you can share this with Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, I really super appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe for more videos, I really hope that you do, because there is a lot more coming your way with this sort of content. Okay. If you can hit the thumbs up before you go, that would seriously be appreciative. Also, there is links below to sign up to that newsletter. It's very simple, a name and an email address. It doesn't even have to be your real name. Sign up to that and you will be one of the 6,000 plus getting that newsletter on a regular basis. So we're going to say thank you to Films by Lewis. I appreciate that. Oh, long time no see. Good to see you. Queen of NoHo from California, thank you very much for that donation. That's very appreciative. Hello from LA. And we got AMG Rider. Brilliant. Thank you for that, people. Let me just take it off the screen. And you guys who have been donating behind the scenes, I really appreciate it because, yep, I'm being shadow banned again. So think about what I said. Are you going to fall into the trap or are you going to survive it? They want this stuff coming down the road. What are you going to do? Start your own communities. Use your own head. Say no to digital. Use cash. You guys take care. Thanks for watching. Stay funky.